Hello guys, welcome to another one of my Battle Breakers videos heading into 22-9 with two different teams to show different ways this can be completed. A huge thanks to everyone out there using my supporter creator code Loke Hansen or clicking my supporter creator link to support my work. Remember that a portion of sales goes to me when using my supporter creator code or link. Anyway guys, let's dig into what we're going to be doing here. I'm starting out with Dreadlord Kane. This is a farmable hero, huge on debuffs. You deal area damage, and for the next 4 turns, every damage they take is going to decrease their attack points and defense. Like, it's so huge. You can pretty much like get things down to dealing just 1 damage. So this was a bad start, but I brought in Celicia. She's not a dark element hero, so she is more likely to survive. But now that we are up and running, every damage that we deal now is gonna be okay. That was pretty easy. Okay, that was a bit faster than I expected. The base concept here is Dreadlord Kane, area debuffs. You deal damage with your Abyssal Horror or with Selene, or if you have a good buffed up crazy Pale Heart Freya, you can chain explode creep. So we have like some high area damage in Pale Heart, we have some defense reduction in Lady Sun, revival in Lifebringer Celicia, then we have like boss damage in Selene the Reaper, medium kinda crazy damage in the Abyssal Horror, and we have the Dreadlord Kane to just tag things so that they will get weaker no matter how we damage them. So that is pretty much the concept based on the heroes I brought in this team here. So now we're gonna be up against Sky Pirate Faris, and this can be really tricky. So I'm starting out dealing area damage and debuffing so that we will take less damage, clearing out the creep and making sure that we can hit things easier. Then I'm using my Abyssal Horror to deal damage, and as you can see now we're just taking 1 damage from the special from the Sky Pirate. That is really the power of Dreadlord Kane. So now we're just going to be pinning these opponents weaker and weaker because they are debuffed. And like Selene, I would have liked her to one-shot the Faris. It didn't happen, but it's okay, it's almost dead. The main problem or advantage in this map here, room 2, is that we're getting a lot of creep, which means that we can spawn monsters in that we can farm to get more turns so that we have more to work with. So if you are down on turns, this is really where you can farm it. You can pretty much just let like Lady Sun shoot them one at a time, use the Abyssal Horror to take out a few, like every once in a while use Pale Heart Freya to explode them away. You have a lot of different ways you can deal with creep with a group such as this. So it's just like one of those. You can also do it with these heroes in case you are missing, like the Cuddle Team Leader, for instance, that I really like to bring in a lot of these Forgotten Lands type of missions. So we got the boss down, we have loads of creep. Now we can set out Lady Sun to just fire, hope to hit the towers. We need to get the towers down in order to stop getting more creep. So we can like go for auto, or we can take Pale Heart Freya to like trigger a chain explosion, just clearing out everything. But as you can see, the creep just keeps coming back until we get rid of the towers. So that is key here. You won't be able to leave this room until the towers are gone. And since we don't have anything in here that goes crazy, like exploding shields, we pretty much need to pin down the tower, and we can just do that with Lifebringer Celicia or any other hero. There is no hero in this setup that is better for towers than any other members of the group. So just target it down. The creep that we're getting is pretty weak. You should be able to withstand a great deal of attacks from them if you are in the Forgotten Lands. And once you have the towers up and you're ready to move on, like you can see, I have more than 100 turns now. You can do some kind of like crazy attack. Now we can also go in and steal an ability. Garby is available in the hero store right now, so you can actually buy the pet that we got in the Season 1 Battle Pass. It is really funny to play with. I'm just pulling in a Panlong just because I didn't want this video to be about stealing abilities, because I already did that like more than once already. But that like, the creep is gone now. I have my Dreadlord Kane on off cooldown, so I can use him in the next room, which is super important. In 22.9, this is the hard room. This is the crazy room. You can get here pretty easily, then you end up getting super spanked. I'm gonna talk a little bit about positioning once we move into the next battle. But once again, I can use my Dreadlord to just debuff everything. Important stuff is that if we don't get the Lifebringer Celicia away, she can revive everything, giving us like all sorts of crazy problems. We have the shielded heroes that will intercept, and then of course we have the Angel that will just like every 5 turns demolish things. She has crazy attacks, which I'm pretty sure everyone out there has tried. If you are checking out this video, she will just like pull out these white orbs that just chain demolish everything. So the key here is to have used the Dreadlord so that when they take damage now, they're just gonna get weaker and weaker and deal less damage to us. You will be finding yourself in a bit of a problem reviving things with Celicia here, because the Angel will just instant remove them if you don't have things like very well up and running. So just for reference, it can be done, but you may want to consider how you position heroes, because as you can see, everything is pretty much just gone once again. Now I got Lady Sun in as a helper. Lady Sun is amazing to bring in here. I definitely think that you need to have a Lifebringer. If you're going in here casual style, you need something to revive things. You may want to focus out the towers. These towers actually heal as well, so it's gonna make your life easier if you get the towers away. So what kind of pet do I want to bring in here? Do I want to bring anything? Or we can get some mana so that we can revive even more. But anyway, we just have the Angel left. We're gonna pin the towers away, and as you can see, we just took 1 damage this time, so that's pretty nice. The Abyssal Horror will actually steal powers, not like special powers, but attack and defense from the things it is attacking, so you can use it pretty niftily to just go in crazy stuff. 1 attack on the opponent here, the power of Dreadlord Kane. We're not in trouble right now. We have the opponent down to dealing no damage, and we can just gank it down pretty casually. So this is one way, one type of setup that you can go into 22.9 with. Is it the ideal crazy meta build? Not at all. This is, I think, the 3rd video I'm making about this area. I just wanted to showcase a few different like group setups, talk about how you can use them in here if you are stuck on 22.9. So for the next team for 22.9, I decided to go in with completely different type of setup. Of course, I still have Paleheart, I still have Selene, I still have the Lightbringer and Dreadlord Kane, but I went in with Mistwalker and with Wanderer Jaijan that I talked about in a recent video. So what I'm doing here is to use the Wanderer's special ability, pull up Selene to deal high single target damage, and because of the Wanderer's ability, we're dealing 20% of all this damage to everything else on the team. So once again, we have like a pretty nice ninja clear option, but I'm not going in with the Dreadlord as an opener like what I did before, because I just want to clear out creep first. So this is a bit more offensive approach, but something you can definitely use as well. Now, the Mistwalker is a new acquisition of mine that I haven't fooled that much around with, and I actually just brought her in here to say that we have a bit of like an open spot. You need some type of strategy in here. You need a way to deal with a lot of opponents. You need a way to deal with super strong opponents, and you need some kind of revival. The rest is pretty much up to like flavor. How do you want to win this map? And this time around, I brought in the Wanderer as a helper hero, but like there are many ways you can do that. She has a pretty cool stance option, meaning that you can use her special to deal even more attacks when you use her basic feature, which can be really nice when you are up against things such as towers, and as you saw in the last run here we do have quite a few towers, some that spawn opponents and some that actually heal. So managing towers is a pretty good deal when you are in 22-9. So once again, we're going to be up against Sky Pirate Varus. We get summoned opponents, we get area damage. So we can once again choose to go in and debuff with the Dreadlord, or we can go in, select Sky Pirate, and just go crazy high damage with Selene. This time around I decided to debuff first. We don't want to take a lot of crazy damage from the Skybreaker. Going in with Selene after that, even though we had few opponents. If we had had a few more opponents, it would have been a clear. But as you can see, once again, we're taking 1 damage because of the debuff that we have from Dreadlord Kane. Again, this is like a hero you can farm in the game by spending keys. It is like one of the best heroes in the game for a lot of different like tactical missions. If you don't have him, it is definitely worth your time to farm it out. So just trying a little bit here with the Mistwalker, because I haven't fooled that much around with her. But as you can see, pretty interesting in terms of getting towers removed, I feel. So anyway, Hail Heart is amazing for creep control. Loads of explosions that just chain through the entire map. I could have brought Gabriel as well, but it doesn't really make a lot of sense to showcase how you can complete 22-9 with a hero that you get by completing 22-11. So that is pretty much why I didn't bring him in here. But once again, we're up against Archangel Dahlia. This is the tough room. And as you can see, I have moved Selene and Dreadlord Kane down to the bottom row of my heroes. Why have I done that? Well, a lot of abilities only really damage the front row of your heroes. So if you have important strategic units that you want to keep alive, it is often a good idea to have them at the bottom row, the lower row of your heroes. It's gonna like increase their chance of survival. So that is why I have them down there. Debuffing multiple times, just trying to get the opponents down to where they are no longer a threat. I have Lifebringer Silesia, so I can bring everything back up to life, and once we have the debuff high enough, we won't be getting wipes on our heroes any longer. So it's pretty much a rinse and repeat kind of thing here. Clear the board every once in a while if you want to. With Selene, I didn't really have a lot of buff up going with the Wanderer. This was a borrowed hero, so not a lot of mana on it. Mine is pretty weak as well because I'm focusing on the many new heroes that we're getting. But again, just debuffing, making sure that we won't be taking a lot of damage from all the creep we have, and then we can try out to see if we can create chain explosions with Freya, but unfortunately I think it just got snapped, so that was a bit of a shame. So just shooting a bit randomly here to see if I can find a few towers. Note that we have a Lifebringer Silesia alive, but we don't have the Angel alive, so I actually risk getting like a resurrection. There is a chance that she will revive the big boss, which of course is a really bad deal. So we need to get the Lifebringer away as fast as possible, so I can target her out and use Selene. That scales with the amount of heroes on the board. She is now gone. We only have the Lancelots left, so it's pretty much just a tank and spank now. There is no way a horde of Lancelots is gonna be able to defeat this group. So it is pretty casual now. It may take some time, but this is not what we're worried about. It is really the crazy power of the Archangel that will just cause wipe after wipe after wipe. Even if you have a Lifebringer, it can be like crazy dangerous. Ideally, I would have liked to buff up now so that we could do a lot of chain damage, but it's I think we're just gonna have to do this the old-fashioned manual way, because right now everything is just getting healed up. So time to get rid of some towers and then get the remaining Lancelots removed. So anyway, these were like 2 different types of groups, 2 different approaches to completing 22-9 in the Forgotten Lands, where you need to bring 4 Dark Element heroes. One where I'm cheesing it with the Wanderer and Selene, and one that was a bit more focused on debuffing with the Dreadlord. If you have specific heroes that you would like me to look into in regards to completing different Forgotten Lands areas, be sure to put them down in the comments. For now, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for using my supporter creator code Loke Hansen or clicking the link in the description. It lasts 2 weeks. Remember that a portion of sales goes to me when you use my supporter creator code or link. For now guys, thank you very much for watching.